pretty much, yeah. So go right ahead.
You're just gonna put me on the spot like that.
Yep.
You're not gonna do like some little intro or anything.
I started that, and then Patrick, he was like, "Yeah, let's just do a rolling start because Joe Rogan does it." I'm like, "Okay, we can try it out, and we'll just see how it works." And I'm not against it at all, and it actually makes it a little bit more fun because I don't have to do an intro, but
Fair.
then I can also do an intro and record that and have that done. So
True.
this is like the intro to the
okay.
intro. This is the after intro before the pre-intro.
intro.
It's the sequel before the prequel. That's really what it is.
Gosh.
Oh, wait,
Okay, we're getting into Star Wars stuff.
Yep, you got
All right. Level of swears, yay, nay.
I
somewhere
kind
in
of
between.
don't silence. So I mentioned on my last podcast that I don't hinder people in their language just because history has never been a let's only show the pretty side of things. History is history. It's recorded. So when it comes to language, I feel the same way. However, if you want to censor yourself, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
I'll try to do a little bit of censoring, but
that is up to you. As far as I know, there hasn't been like an adpocalypse against me, so
true.
We're all good.
We'll
take ads.
All right. So.
Oh, you could say who you are too. I guess that will work out.
What?
You could say who you are too.
Oh yes, hi. I'm. You know, they should know me by now. I've done one of these before.
Yeah. Well, in case no one has seen you before.
Well, true. Well, I'm Charlsie. I am one of Alex's good friends. And
Hey everyone, this is Charlsie. She is a good friend of mine from way back in high school, and she's going to be talking
years
about.
Ago now.
Is it 10? No, it's been more than 10.
Well, it's been more than 10, but 10 years since we graduated.
Yes, it's been.
We're old folks.
2008, 2007.
7.
So it's been 14 years.
Yeah,
wow.
buddy.
How old do you feel? I feel pretty good.
Depends on the day. Today I feel good.
Yay. All right.
Most days I feel like I'm an 86-year-old trapped in a 20-some-year-old body.
It's probably, wait, what?
just roll with it. Just roll with it.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, known Charlsie for 14 and counting years. You know, I've always wondered how do you say I've known someone for 14 years and then let's say you and that someone had a falling out and then you say, oh, I don't know them anymore. But do you continue knowing them after those years or do you like cut that off?
I mean, at that point, I either say like I was friends with them back in the day or like, you know, like, yeah, we were good friends. Well, it's like we were good friends, but you know.
But do you include the years part? Do you include the years part?
No.
So then, okay.
You just say like, oh yeah, back when we were in high school, I was good friends with this person, and you know, no, I'm not.
Okay. No, I was wondering that just in case, like, oh, how long have you known this person? Oh, I've known this person for like a certain amount of years. Are we close? No, we're not that close. Or yeah. We're that close.
Well, that's why it's like a lot of times like when the first of like our classmates had passed away, I was like, you know, he was more of an acquaintance to me, at least. I was never good friends, so I was like, oh yeah, a classmate of mine passed away, you know, like tragic, terrible. Can't believe it's been 6 years since that happened.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no fun.
It is not. All right, so you're going to talk about your cosplaying. How'd you get into it?
Oh gosh. So I have a lot of nerd friends, but my
nerd.
Yes, nerd. I should have worn my glasses today. Oh well.
With the tape on the inside of them?
Okay, none of my glasses have that. I take care of mine. Wesley, however, has one that has a lens popped out currently.
Oh my goodness.
He does not take as good of care of
So he's like 3 eyes.
Instead of 4, yep. But no, my first like time I went to a Comic-Con was Grand Rapids Comic-Con, and it was 2003, 13 or 14. I think 14. I don't know. It's been a hot minute.
Okay.
7-ish years. So I actually volunteered because it was like only their second year of actually having a con in Grand Rapids and everything. So there was still like pretty small, low key and everything like that. No, I did not cosplay low key, but I have since then.
But like, how did you know that there was a Grand Rapids Comic Con? Because I actually didn't know there was a Grand Rapids Comic Con.
A little bit of Googling.
Oh,
honestly,
okay.
because like you always hear about San Diego Comic Con, like because that is the Comic Con, and so I was like, man, I want to know if there's any in Michigan, and
Fair.
so just kind of searched, and then like, oh, Grand Rapids, oh, it's coming up, oh, I can volunteer and get in free, hell yeah, like I'm gonna do that, sure, and so
Can't wait to do that again.
yes, that is definitely, at least for me, like one of the biggest bummers of COVID is canceling all of the cons. But so I did that one, and I cosplayed as Raven from Teen Titans. It was a very cheaply done and quickly done cosplay.
I feel like those are the best kind. We can tell
It actually wasn't bad. So I luckily, because I did dance, I already had a black leotard to just, for her like main part, and like tights, like white tights, easy enough for that. And then I like went to, I think it was like Party City or something. Got a blue cape cloak thing.
I think it was a cloak, yeah.
Yeah.
And a dagger?
No.
Oh.
No daggers. And a purple wig that I had to kind of try to style it myself. Mind you, this is my first time. It was a hot mess. But try to style that like little widow's peak, because so all of the bobs that they had wig wise at Party City was like just they were like the straight bobs. But then they all had straight across bangs. So I was like trying to like cut those off and like then also style it.
Okay.
It actually didn't look terrible for my first time and everything. Looking back after like more experience and like knowing like wig things to shop for and whatnot, looking back it's like, oh honey, but for a first timer doing it within a week of going to the con wasn't bad, because there is a thing called con crunch, and honestly I didn't finish making the belt until the night before / morning of, because I did go into the wee hours.
Do you have a photo of that, Raven? Okay, you don't have it show. I was gonna put it on the
yeah I do.
Okay, cool.
I do.
I want to see it now.
Yeah, I can definitely add many a photo to this.
I do want to see it though.
You want to see it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Camera sharker.
I didn't know you had it on hand. I was like, oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, I also have a whole Instagram page that is just my cosplay stuff. So then I like to, do the throwback Thursdays of like, lol, this is terrible. Look at how much I've grown. So I found this little Tara. So for those who don't know, in Teen Titans, there's another character, Tara, who actually can like control like rocks and stuff. So
I did not like her.
Yeah, very hit or miss. But anyway, I found this girl that was dressed as her.
Oh.
So, yeah.
It worked out. Also, it is very like blue, cheaply. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can tell it's like cheap and everything that. I mean, I was a broke college kid on a budget. And then my next cosplay was Loki. But this one was actually for my friend's murder mystery party. Like we did a whole like villains murder mystery get together thing. It was really entertaining. But so this one is Also hilarious.
The Loki.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, did no one guess that you were Loki? Or
No.
Okay.
Everybody knew.
No, I meant in the murder mystery. Like they didn't just suspect you as instantly the one who were the murderer.
Oh, I mean, we were all villains. So like Annie right there. She was Bellatrix.
Yeah.
And then Jess was like a human form of Ursula.
Oh, okay. Tell me, who's Bellatrix again? I'm just asking in case our viewers didn't know who
Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter, everyone.
Oh, okay.
And Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Oh, that one I know.
Well, in case your viewers didn't know who Ursula was.
You're right. Exactly.
Because, and then in case you don't know, Loki is a villain from the Marvel universe.
I like him.
And he's about to have his own TV show.
I don't like that.
I do.
I didn't know.
Because Tom Hiddleston is a beautiful man.
Sure, but I didn't know he was going to have his own TV show. Which...
Yeah, on Disney+. June 8th.
I guess if they do it like WandaVision or like the Captain Falcon, whatever, I guess it's okay.
Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that thing.
I think they are. I don't think it's... by the previews, really you can't tell for any of those shows what they actually are.
Yeah. You excited for Carnage? Venom 2 Carnage?
I haven't seen any trailers yet. I know that they just came out, but I haven't watched them yet.
Okay.
So we'll have to sidebar that. I'm just trying to... Okay. So then, for a while, then I wasn't going to cons because, again, broke college kid. What can you do? And then the next con that I did finally get to go to was 2015 or 16. I went to Motor City Comic Con, and that I went with Wesley, which is my now husband, at the time boyfriend, and I convinced him to cosplay, and so we did a cosplay of King and Diane from Seven Deadly Sins, which, again, very cheaply and quickly made.
So was he Diane and you King, or?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, some people just reverse things.
No, I would say gender bent.
Okay.
But so that is what.
Yeah.
That one looked like. And
where was his pillow?
We didn't have time to make one because I'm the only one who knows how to sew. Luckily, he has gotten really good at doing like some of like the props craft side of things. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I got him into going to a Comic-Con, and then for our anniversary. Wow. It was for our anniversary, but also for our honeymoon, we went to New York Comic Con. So for 2018 and 2019, we went to NYCC, which was phenomenal. And we cosplayed all the days that we went. The second year was better than the first year when it came to our cosplays. Mm-hmm. But both were phenomenal. And then the very last con that we got to go to was the C2E2, which is the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. So 2 C's, 2 E's, C2E2.
Oh.
Yep.
A little
nerdy
there, all right.
Nerdy, let me just adjust my glasses. Okay, guys.
I was going to say New York City Comic Con would be like NY3C or NYC3 or something, but it's NYC. C.
Yeah.
So it's New York Comic Con.
Yeah, it's not New York City
Comic Con.
Yeah.
Which would make, I feel like it would be better. NY3C or NYC3, but I guess.
Yeah, but I don't think really any other part of New York ever holds a Comic-Con, or if they do, they're really small cons.
The state or the city?
The state.
Yeah. So NYC, like be more like specific or no?
No. I'm saying since the rest of the state never really holds them.
Yeah.
You don't really need to say NYC Comic-Con, it would just be New York, like New York as its whole.
I feel like they really should not have named the city after the state. I feel like they're a little bit lazy with that, but hey.
I mean, tell that to Kansas and a lot of other.
Yep. I will. You're lazy if you name your city after your state. I'm pretty sure there's a Michigan City.
Jinx! You want me to pop?
They are lazy. I'm sorry. Just name it a different city. You can name it something different. Like there's Traverse, there's Saginaw, there's a whole bunch of different other city names that have nothing to do with the actual.
You also don't have to say city afterwards, too.
Yeah, because it's really just called Michigan City, Michigan. Yeah, which is.
There's also Paradise, Michigan, and Hell, Michigan.
Are they on the opposite sides?
Almost. Yeah. Hell is like, I think like over here-ish.
Yeah.
And then Paradise is like way up top here.
So you kind of can say they're on opposite sides.
Yeah.
They should move Hell to the center of Michigan. Or like center low.
So
below
here.
Lansing. Below Lansing. I want to
say Jackson.
A little bit lower. Closer to Ohio.
The southern state.
Yeah. The southern state. So okay, the last one you went to, last Comic-Con you went to, I'm guessing was in 2019.
It was actually 2020. It was just before everything shut down. It
Nice.
was the so 2020 we had a leap year, so it was that weekend. So it was the 28th, 29th, and March 1st. So it was literally just before the shutdown. We only went to the Saturday day for the con. And I cosplayed as a character from the podcast Critical Role. So for those nerds out there who know Dungeons and Dragons, yes, we can do this all day.
Adjusting glasses.
Yep.
Sparking of the eyes and the glasses.
Ching! No need.
We'll not be putting that in the sound effects.
But Critical Role is, as they say, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors get around and play Dungeons and Dragons. Mm-hmm. And so it has a huge following now, and there's just some really great characters from it that people cosplay. And I've cosplayed 2 of those characters, one of which is a tiefling, which is like kind of a demon-looking type of creature. Mm-hmm. But she's called the Ruby of the Sea, and
is it because she's red?
She is red. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, she is a red tiefling, and she is like this beautiful humanoid, and like is basically a concubine of sorts. Okay. I couldn't think of another word to call it, but yeah, you know.
Hussy.
No. She's a high-end prostitute.
Oh.
Like one for governors and
escorts.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, she's a very high-end escort. But she's the mom of one of the main characters from Critical Role. So right. It was a lot of fun.
Shout outs to after Mother Day.
Oh, yeah. About a week after.
Yeah. It was about a week after.
Yeah. 5 days ago now.
Yes. They seem longer right now.
They do. Well, technically they are compared to the winter.
Okay. Nerd. Okay, so red tiefling escort for the Critical Role podcast.
Yes. So I cosplayed her, which was my first time dabbling in body paint. I mean, I did have like a morph suit on for like, you know, this part, but then like from like the neck up, you know, have to do red face and everything. And so
did it like stick? Like, was it terrible to do? Like, what was the experience doing that?
No, actually it wasn't terrible. what was terrible was trying to get it out of like the crevices of my ear, because like I went a little too vigorous in that, and so like it's just like, because I had like little like pointy ear things.
Oh, okay.
So then like it was just like in like these parts here, because I still like wanted to like definitely at least hear like where my where it would show through my hair and everything. Okay. So I wanted to make sure my earlobes were, but apparently I got it like all deep in there, and so like next like week or so when I Q-tipped, I'm like, well, there's a bunch of red there. Super. It's not blood.
What if it was blood?
You know, I survived apparently.
You were just like, oh, it's just red paint. Yeah, no, it's actually blood.
I mean, different color of red. I was a bright red, whereas like if you had like dried blood or something, that'd be dark. So
yeah.
Different level.
It'd be kind of scary, like to figure out that you're actually bleeding and it wasn't from your paint. So.
Yeah, that'd be a whole nother level of yikes. But no, I honestly I really enjoy it, even like being on the plus side of things. So like some people will think that like, oh, you probably shouldn't cosplay this character because like, you know.
Oh, no.
They're like this skinny, sexy thing, because that's how most women are portrayed. I'm just like, you know what? Screw you. I still have the curves for it, just because I'm a little bigger than she is.
Okay, yeah.
Or even doing like the gender bent stuff. I mean, that's the beauty of cosplaying too, is like you can literally do anything you want. If it's something that isn't like within your race, that is where things can get a little bit
right
touchy, but it's more on like the cultural appropriation side of things than like the actual, I guess, racial side of things. Like,
yeah, I would agree with that.
Like if I were to try to cosplay Shuri, yeah, that's her name.
Oh, yeah,
from Black Panther. Like, that would be probably a no-no. But, like, I actually just shared a picture on Facebook the other day of gorgeous African-American woman cosplaying Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, you are on point with your cosplay. Because, like, the overall costume looked exactly like hers and everything. So it's like, you know, don't let your skin tone or your size or whatever be what stops you. I mean, even with some of my cosplays, with them being cheap and quickly done, they aren't like the most accurate thing, but it's fun, and like we still get people that, you know, recognize us and everything, that are like, oh my gosh, it's awesome. And so it's a lot of fun, and like I think the overall community of like cosplaying in general is just very accepting, and like because they know the work that you have to do to get where you're at, whether good or bad or whatever. And so, like, they can appreciate it because they're on that level.
I wouldn't even think, I guess, when it comes to cultural appropriation versus appreciation, I would think if someone wanted to cosplay as Shuri, that they could do it, whether or not they were black or not, or African or not. Just because Shuri is a mythical character, and yes, she does take certain cultural influences from the actual culture of Africa and the tribes that are represented through certain mediums of clothing or an attire. I think if you're doing it for the character of Shuri or the character of Black Panther, T'Challa, or Killmonger, I don't think it would be appropriation. Now, I think it would be appreciated. Now, if you're doing it in like this accent, and it's not like for
blackface,
right? Or you're doing blackface.
That's not okay.
That's a little. You might be doing a little bit appropriating, and you're doing a little bit too much, especially if it's not on.
Only time where you can get away with like just like straight up putting like black body paint on you is if you're doing like a drow.
A what?
So basically a dark elf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like the villainy type elves, like, because they're, yeah, I mean, so anything like where, well, actually a lot of orcs are more green tones.
Lord of the Ring kind.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah.
Or the Urkai, or whatever they're called. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the handprint on the face.
Yeah, beautiful. They're just so beautiful.
Yeah. So that's the only way I would think.
It's more of like mythical creatures you can kind of get away with. If you're doing anything based semi in reality.
Well, that's what I was saying with Black Panther, because they do take a lot of cultural influences in terms of their attire from the actual culture of Africa. And that's what the directors wanted to do. They wanted to somewhat base it in reality in some sense. And that's where I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, but like you're saying with the blackface, yeah, don't do that. That's terrible. Especially if it's not on Halloween and not for a Comic-Con, and you're just be like, nah, you gotta.
Honestly, Halloween is like the worst though when it does.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible. It's
to
like the worst
a lot of those
to
things.
Like say, hey, I'm going to appropriate a culture and it's gonna be okay.
Right, like, I'm totally gonna dress as this Indian princess and wear this giant ass headdress. And like,
oh yeah, no,
nah, chick, that's not how that works.
I guess really, yeah.
The women never wore headdresses.
Certain things like that, yeah, you got to do your research.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just asking your one friend, your 3 friends who are like, of that culture you want to appropriate. Appreciate. You just got to do your research. Like, can I do this without offending anyone?
Right.
And also at the same time, if you have to ask it, you probably just shouldn't do it in the first place. So.
Or like, if you wanted, like, for me, because I am just super pasty white. Like, if I wanted to do like a Latina or somebody of like an Asian descent, like I'm probably not going to, just because like I'm not about to try to like spray tan myself and then have people like kind of judge me on that aspect of things. I don't care if people judge me on my size and stuff, but when it comes to like the ethnicity side of things, I personally am just more conscientious of what people will think, because like to me that one is more taboo than like, oh, you're a plus size person that like is showing off your midriff. Oh no. Like, so terrible. I'm like, I don't care. Or like skinny dudes who are like portraying buff dudes. Like, bro, you do you.
I was gonna be like, I would want to cosplay as a Power Man from Luke Cage, and the guy's like 6'4" and 230 pounds.
He's just like all meat.
All muscle, all meat, yeah, bald head. Or actually, Luke Cage has a bald head. Power Man has a whole afro.
Yeah.
So depending on which one you want to go with, you have to decide your hairstyle.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing is like, because there's so many adaptations of so many things now, you have to decide how you're gonna, or what adaptation you want to go with. Like Scarlet Witch is one that I would love to cosplay sometime, but it's, do I want to do one of the movie versions, so like when she's first introduced in Age of Ultron, or do I want to do like the WandaVision one, or do I want to do from the comics? From the comics is real entertaining.
What do the comics do differently than the movies, I should say?
So for hers, it's like pink tights and like a leotard that's got like these points coming off the boobs, and then she's got the you know, like the pointy mask thing, and I think she also has like a cape to it too, but like it's really like 70s style.
Yeah,
like this is what a super female looks like. Like, I'll accentuate the curves, like the butt's barely covered by the leotard and everything.
Yep.
But she has tights on, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not too scandalous. Or like my favorite is with I think it's so confusing because there's a Captain Marvel for Marvel and for DC.
Yes.
And I think it was one of the old school versions of Captain Marvel for DC, I think. I don't know. But she's just got this cleavage window. So basically, like, it's like a collared, like, neckline and everything, but there's just this big cutout right here just so you can see all the cleavage because she's got big old knockers.
They had to let you know.
They had to let you know, because you couldn't just use your imagination based off of the voluptuous drawing that they did.
She is a powerful woman, and maybe she wanted to accentuate her body in the way she wanted to.
You know, all the power to her, but we also know that it was men drawing these things.
Nope, they were just taking the ideas of maybe some female audience members that they, gathered information from. Like, is it Power Girl or Supergirl?
With Supergirl, she's gone through a lot of different costume changes.
Yeah, iterations and stuff. Yeah.
Because she used to be, like, one that bore her midriff, and then, like, now in the TV adaptation, she's more of, like, function over fashion sort of look, but she still has, like, a skirt because,
she's a female.
She's a female, so she has a skirt. Like, come on, guys.
Here are the cues.
Right.
Have you watched Invincible yet?
No. I know. It's on my list. There's a few things. I'm trying to...
The memes are out there.
I'm trying to catch up on a lot of, like, animes and stuff that I'm behind on.
This one you should definitely jump on it as soon as possible, because it was actually really good. I liked it a lot. And I can't really, I don't want to spoil anything for you. It's just, they do have an episode where they talk about a female superhero and her attire. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, you even, they gave this for you and whatnot. And she was like, actually, I created this myself. So it was a funny little fourth wall breaking, barely, in a way, but not necessarily. It was like 3.5 wall breaking.
Well, if you've ever 3.5 wall, they just like kind of knocked it over a little bit, just so you could like peek through.
Knock.
Right. Like they just opened the window. Sorry, we're just getting too literal with this now. But I mean, similar thing with My Hero Academia is they all design their costumes when they get to the school and everything. And like some of the women, like one of the girls, because she like can manifest like weapons from her body.
Yeah. She kind of has to.
She has like as minimal clothing on as possible, so she has the most body space to like pull things out of. So like she's one that's got like the super deep V, but like it's just like straight up like a crazy ass bathing suit.
Yeah.
Essentially, she's just like pulling like all sorts of gadgets and gizmos. And it's like, okay.
It's like a strand of cloth that goes like that and around the waist. And that's it.
It's like it just like covers some
utility
nips
belt
and like the butt and frontal region, and you're good.
That would be a super cool power to have, to like manifest. Like, does she only manifest metal materials? 'Cause I can't remember. No, because she did cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like almost anything she can imagine, just not like organic, so like humanoid or
that'd be really creepy. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got people butting off of you.
Like, just let me grow this eye real quick.
That'd be a sweet like story arc of hers if she figured out how to like manipulate her body and where she can grow arms and stuff, and then like pieces together a new her, like a clone. And then that's the evil side or whatever. Like, that'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, but she's like a major minor character.
Yeah, only important at certain specific times.
Right, exactly. She's just part of like that main class. There's only like 4 real main characters that you actually follow story arcs of.
It's like, hey, we need a cannon. Where can we get a cannon? And everyone looks directly at her. Right. She just pops out a cannon from her torso.
Just like fire away.
Yeah, I thought that was also kind of weird and funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, it works. But yeah, no. So I mean, it definitely, I guess, would depend on. I think more so of when the character, like female wise, when they were created, as to whether or not it was truly like they're just making them like a sex symbol versus like, oh, maybe there was actually a purpose to why their costume looks like that.
Yeah, or if their purpose was just be a sex symbol. So,
right.
Like Poison Ivy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, she's known for like seducing the men and turning them into trees.
Yes.
Or plants of some sort.
Some plant. Some, yes.
And then you have Harley Quinn, who just, like, she doesn't give a
She
fuck.
was never, no, I won't say she was never sexualized. In the, like, animated TV shorts in the 90s, she wasn't really sexualized because she had a full, like, jester outfit on that didn't do anything. Like, it didn't accentuate the curves more than the outfit
would normally.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I was like, okay.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't
clearly
like meant to be like crazy skin tight.
Right.
But I mean, if you've seen the new animated Harley Quinn,
yeah.
like
Completely different.
She's very much sexualized because it's a little more based
crazy.
around Suicide Squad,
Yes.
Harley Quinn, and then you have Birds of Prey where she's similar scantily
Is that
clad.
Margot Robbie?
Yeah,
Yeah. Robbie?
Robbie.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's also interesting. Changing times of comics and so forth. But digress. So your last one was 2020.
Yo.
Which one of your cosplays are your most favorite that you enjoyed doing the most?
I did really enjoy doing Ruby, and then it was fun. It's honestly, it's always fun to do like the cosplays of like fandoms where there isn't necessarily a huge amount of people cosplaying in that, but like there is like a big fandom for. So then people get really excited when they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're cosplaying that person! Like, can I get a picture?" kind of thing. But so the last NYCC, only 2 C's. But the last New York one that we went to, because Tom Hiddleston was at the con, there was a lot of Lokis. I was one. But I just did like kind of like, I guess like a casual Loki, but
Casual, low key.
it wasn't a low key Loki. No, that was my friend the year prior. She did a low key Loki. Let me see if I can.
I hope
find...
someone else has done that. A low key.
Oh, I'm sure lots of people have. Let me.
They should do a cosplay of literally a low key, like the key that's
Just
on your
like
key
a
ring.
key, like just hanging low.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, no, that would just be awful.
Oh man, that guy's really low key.
Gosh, that's like on the level of like
And they're mischievous too.
that's like the whole gingerbread man thing, and it's just like a ginger wearing bread. I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures,
I have
but
not,
I'm just
but
like,
I like it.
and by ginger I do mean redhead for those who don't necessarily know the slang of a redhead.
I feel like everybody should definitely know.
I mean, they should, but
Not everyone knows who Bellatrix is, I'm sure, but
right, yep, that's the one. Okay, where the heck? There we go. So we did update and fix the style of helmet.
yeah, definitely like larger, more prominent. Yeah, that looks really nice.
Yeah. So I honestly really enjoyed that, and like still got like a lot of compliments. And so where we were staying, we stayed with a friend of mine that lives Queens. I think that's the portion. Yeah.
One of the boroughs.
Yeah. So we stayed with her, so we had to take the subway over to where the con was actually being held and everything, which a lot of people do because it's New York. The subway is your main way of transportation. But it's so funny the looks that you get when you're in like full cosplay
And they're like
on the
wondering.
subway. And it's like, guys, this is New York. You've seen weirder, like especially during Pride Week, the things that I have seen at that point in time. I was like, oh, why are you walking around like that? I mean, power to you, but why? Like rainbow glitter head to toe and like super short shorts. Very common theme for Pride Week. And I love it.
You would think that they would be used to, I don't know, city
Just
being
weird.
attacked.
Right. Well, they
No.
they would just be used to weird because it's New York.
Well, I mean, like in the Marvel movies, like the New York
Yeah,
City is always
I
attacked.
gotcha.
So you you would think, yeah, my city gets attacked. This is not normal for me. So it's Loki. All right, on the train.
Well, that's not the one that got
Oh.
weird looks for. No, I definitely had men staring, but that's just
for the tiefling or for the Loki.
For Loki.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though not much is showing with that, it's just
okay. Yeah, man, I guess.
I mean, men just stare, and it's
I guess so. if your thing is that thing, I guess so.
If you're a boob guy,
If you're a boob guy for a Loki character, go right ahead, I guess.
No, don't go right ahead. I mean, it's creepy. Trust me. Women do not appreciate it, even when they are dressed as sexy characters. Still ask to take their picture. Still.
Oh, they weren't leaving. They were just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture." Oh, that's a little bit weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So.
No, that's weird. Don't do that.
Even outside of
I thought they were just looking. Oh, okay.
So, for example, we ran into this girl that was cosplaying Shigo from Kim Possible. The main female villain.
I forgot what she looked like.
Black and green outfit, black hair, kind of like a palish greenish hued skin tone. Anyway, so this girl was cosplaying Shigo, and being a decent human being.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So being a decent human being, I'm like, oh my gosh, your cosplay's amazing. Can I take your picture? She's like, yeah, absolutely. Poses and everything. And as I'm taking my picture, just after I finish, because you're still somewhat in the pose, this guy comes up right next to and starts taking me. She's like, ask my permission first. She just straight up called him out, and he basically ran away. It's like I don't care, but just ask.
Yeah.
Because, there are some guys that will also just, straight up zoom in on certain parts. I'm just like, stop being a creep.
Now. Come on, please.
Come on. And I'm sure there's also women that did that, with the shirtless men that were all,
both.
Ripped and sexy and
both
stuff.
Parties.
But
just ask.
But, yeah, just be decent human beings and ogle from afar. Come on. Don't be creepy and take pictures like that.
Without asking.
Right.
Or, just in... spark a conversation naturally, oh, that's a cool outfit. What is it from? Or who are you being or whatever.
Or if you know what they are, be like, oh my gosh, you did an amazing job. High five kind of thing. Obviously, if they, aren't comfortable with skin contact as well. Because there are some, it's because nerds. It's a lot of, people that are normally very introverted and everything. But they get to break out into something totally different because they're putting on this whole persona with the cosplay. So they might become this super bubbly character and yay. But they're still not comfortable with all right, yeah, we're gonna pose for a picture and you put your arm around them or something. Always just be considerate and kind and just ask.
Yeah.
Don't just assume that people are on your level of comfort with things, because it's not the case most often.
When I went to one of the League of Legends tournaments in Detroit, I want to say it was a couple years ago. Nerd. Yeah, it's a very fun game. I'm still playing now. I'm grinding back up to where I was before because I lost my account. Thank you, Riot. But whatever. Anyways, when I went to the championship between, I think at that time it was Team Liquid and C9. Team Liquid won, of course, because they're better. Sure. So, I'm just trying to anger somebody who actually may or may not know this, but anyways, I did make sure, because there are different people who cosplay as different characters from the game. So I would hey, so-and-so video game character, can I take a picture? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And that's just how I am, just because you don't just snap pictures.
Because
you
you're
ask.
A decent human being.
Yeah, I know, but it must be really hard for people to just be decent. I don't understand. Just ask.
I mean, you really don't get too many, especially a lot of the bigger cons, especially in recent years and everything. It's posted everywhere sexual harassment is not tolerated. If you feel uncomfortable, here are like some safe places to go to.
All right.
And numbers that you can contact to report somebody, like all that kind of stuff. So like they're very much like, you know, like just because you're dressed that way is not consent for anything. And like you could be dressed, you know, as a harlot of sorts, and it doesn't mean like I want to sleep with you. Like, nah, fam. I'm married and like ew.
yeah. Unless it was like Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa. I can't edit that out.
I picture him as a Girl Scout.
As a girl. I can't edit that out. That's a little bit beyond my ability. Actually, it's not. It's just gonna look weird. It's just gonna be a hard cut to like the next scene.
Yep.
Anyways, Jason Momoa. Yeah.
I mean, even then, it's like, I mean, I'm married, but oh, you're so pretty, but no, I'm married. You know, it's just an internal conflict at that point. But yeah. Still, ask permission first.
Yeah. No, there was no signs that I recognized at the League of Legends game, but I guess just that's because it wasn't a Comic-Con, but it is expected because they did have a costume competition. So, I mean, people could say that there should have been like maybe signs or maybe not. There wasn't, not that I know of, anything that was like people were heavily accentuating certain characteristics of themselves. There are certain character designs in the game where
I'm familiar with the character designs.
Yeah, they're like really like the character Evelyn. She is straight up a succubus demon, but the way they went about it was like, yeah, you can't tell any other way than like some guy was just glasses up and just perving away, writing it down, drawing it out, whatever. Right, deep breaths. It's just a little weird, man. Just a little weird.
Just a little.
But I don't think anyone dressed up like that. There was this one cosplay of Kha'Zix. He's like an assassin bug, like Scyther from Pokemon. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. But instead of saying Scyther, it's, I don't know, it's in mangled growls or whatever, in bug type way. But it has like these huge scythes, and whoever the guy or gal was dressed up like them. It just looked really cool. Yeah, the human being in the costume of the insect assassin. It was really well done, really cool. I don't think I have pictures from it. I wish I did, but oh well. But like, people take lots of time and.
I mean, depending on the extent of your cosplay, it can take months to build stuff. And I mean, luckily, because it's really grown in the last few years and everything, like things are more easily accessible, like using foam for making your props and armor and everything. Like you can actually go to Joann Fabrics and get some now.
Nice.
It's still kind of crappy quality, and I'd recommend ordering offline with SFX.
Is it like sfx.com or something, or?
It's sfxprops.com, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But that's where we've ordered foam and even like foam clay, which rather than like in like the sheets of foam that you would like cut out your pieces, there's actual like more of like malleable clay, so you can get like those like more intricate designs. They actually at their booth at con, they had the Witch King of Agnar from Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
No one else knew. Yeah,
right. It's just as there's the blank face of the audience, obviously.
Oh yeah. Sorry, sometimes my face will be blank for the audience sake.
But anyway, they had like a helmet, and it was completely made out of foam. But I'll be damned, that thing looked like
like the black.
Yeah. With all like the crazy spikes and like, but like even like the like gritty details and stuff. I mean, part of that is also just being really good with paint. and making it, look worn in the proper ways and whatnot. That is something I still am not skilled with, is like my blending and everything like that. But, things just take time and practice, trial and error.
Oh, that sounds fun. So you go to sfx.com.
Props.
What other resources do you use to actually, when coming up with a character design, what are the steps you go through before finalizing, this is who I want to be, now it's time for me to order my materials?
So, this part of the process is probably a little bit different from one person to another. For me personally, I, will get on a kick with certain shows, and, if there's a character that I like really like from that show that like also is like somewhat of a physicality that I could pull off, I'll be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna cosplay as them. For example, from She-Ra, the Netflix original version of She-Ra, not the old 70s or 80s, whenever that thing came out, version, there is a character named Scorpia. And so she is a human scorpion person. So she has like the scorpion pincer claw things and then a scorpion tail, but like the rest of her is just a human form. And so
this one?
That's the old.
Okay, that's the old one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you just look up Scorpia, it'll probably be like the first thing that pops up is the Netflix modern version. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not only is it like, oh, she's also like just a taller, larger build of a person, but she's also just like this great, like super adorable character that I'm just like, I absolutely love you, and hell yeah, I'm gonna cosplay as you. So that one's gonna be tricky, building the pincers.
Yeah, I can see.
The tail part won't be as hard, I think, but still a little bit tricky just because it's got like the overlapping.
Is she a lobster or a dragon lobster?
She's a scorpion. Scorpia.
Scorpia. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. I was moving around trying to get myself comfortable, so it went over my head. But now that makes a lot more sense. Scorpion. So she's got like a poison thing too? Oh, okay.
Yep. She can stab with her tail, and it actually just does a stun. It doesn't do like death.
Because the writers didn't want to implement death into a kid's show.
Well, no, they do, but just not in that way.
So they're not Mortal Kombat level ready.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more subtle deaths.
Okay.
Like sacrificial kind of death. Spoilers.
So
I'm just going to leave it at that.
You go through a process of figuring out the character that you want to become. And then it's from there the design. From there it's getting image references and like kind of figuring out a bunch of different angles. And so like to truly get like the full idea of like, okay, this is what the entire outfit looks like. Because sometimes, if you only see the front side, you don't know if like there was some sort of innate design on the back side or something like that. So it's definitely something along those lines of like really trying to kind of doing some research to it. Obviously, if like it's from a show, don't just pick a character because you have like a look for them. Like if you don't like their character or you don't remember anything about them, because like people are gonna be like, oh yeah, do like the pose or like say the line kind of thing, like, and you're like thumbs up,
right? It's like finger guns. Like, hey. It's like, no, let's not. Like, I mean, even for the very first one I did with Raven, people were like, "Can you do the voice?" And I'm like, Azeroth, Metreon. Like, I don't know. Like, kind of. I've never really practiced it. Like that, I wasn't to that level of cosplay. But, like, when it came to Ruby of the Sea, she actually has a little bit of a Eastern European, but it's because her daughter, her little Sapphire, because she is blue tiefling. So her daughter is her little Sapphire, and her little Sapphire talks like this. So then, when the character was introduced, obviously she then had to talk like that. So it was just
cool.
When we got to doing that cosplay, I did do a little bit of that. Anytime I saw, somebody cosplayed as her name is Jester, but as her little Sapphire, I'd be like, "Little Sapphire, oh, how I've missed you." Like, just that kind of thing.
Good.
And then they'd be like, "Oh, mama." And, like, it's just, like, this cute little thing. And, like, that's one of the fun things with doing the cosplays once, like, you get to that point. Some of the work leading up to the cosplay can be really stressful. And, there's that crunch time of, like, oh, shit, it's tomorrow. Yeah. And I still have, like, the final priming to do or whatever. And certain things, or like, how do I attach this to the rest of it? I didn't figure that part out. So
your next one is Scorpia, right? Or is that just throwing out there ideas?
That is one that I want to do / is semi in the works. It's more still in the, like, researching phase of things and, like, kind of doing, like, the general sketching, laying out of, like, how are we going to go about building some of it. And then I want to do Urza from Fairy Tale. I have no idea which outfit of hers, because she is one that has many. And, like, that's the thing, is, like, certain characters, like, they just have, like, this one iconic outfit that's, like, okay, easy. Like, Deadpool. You just do the Deadpool outfit. Like, you don't really do anything else.
Or pretty much it's just his mask, and you can throw anything else with it. And it's Deadpool chefs.
Right.
Deadpool teaches kids, or Deadpool goes to the post office.
To the beach.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything like that, and it's a Deadpool thing.
Right. So, I mean, like, and that's where, like, you'll get, like, some of, like, the casual cosplays, or depending on the con and, like, what all is being done. Like, because, like, there are ones where there'll be, like, after parties and raves and stuff like that. So it's like you can do, like, a casual or more like an EDM version of, like, a character. I'm not bold enough to do most of those. I mean, I've done, like, a casual cosplay kind of thing, like, especially, like, if you don't feel like doing, like, the full face paint or something like that, you do a casual one. So, like, it's more like you just have an outfit basically inspired by the character in a way, rather than going full-fledged into the character. So there are things like that. But yeah, so want to do them. I'd like to do Midnight from My Hero.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
I'm not saying I didn't remember. I just know who he is.
Yeah.
The bird guy.
No. Midnight is one of the teachers. She's the one that, like, can release the...
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That, like, every line she says sounds like it comes from a porn.
Oh, that... Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So, like, she is one that I think would be kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
To be more on that sexual side of things.
Apparently, the anime version is nothing like the manga version, and I...
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's pretty interesting, the differences. I think that's what I heard, and I think I looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay.
Is she worse in the manga? Or just...
You just have to do your own research.
Okay, I will. And that's a whole nother level of like if there's mangas versus the animes, like with Naruto, that kind of thing. I'm just like, I probably will never do a Naruto one, mostly because most of the women suck in that, and like, I just don't. Well, other than Lady Tsunade.
Yeah, I'm not that far yet, so I guess I can't say too much. I stopped at when a frog dude dies and Naruto's in the frog realm.
When Jiraiya?
Yeah, the sage. When he dies.
Oh, that broke my heart.
Oh, I was like, did I spoil it for you?
No,
oh, okay.
no. That moment. But, spoilers to your lovely viewers if there's any nerds out there.
It's too late now.
I know, right?
I mean, years.
Naruto's been out since...
middle school for a lot of us.
I was going to say, like, 05 or something like that. I don't know. It's been, like, a solid decade that, like, Naruto's been going.
It's been out, so you should have time. Should have had time.
Yeah. Naruto Shippuden, or Shippuden, however it's pronounced.
Yes. It's probably Shippuden, but I'm not going to correct you on it.
That's what I'm like. However it's pronounced, I don't know. I realize I pronounce things terribly a lot of times.
Yep.
Which is why I really don't get offended when people mispronounce my name a lot of times either.
Carlisle.
No.
Carlisle Kussmaul.
No. What's funny is, like, you were actually very close to my last name, even though you're totally off on my first name.
Isn't it Kussmaul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kussmaul.
But Kussmaul is a common one. Or Kussmaul.
Kussmaul.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Got about a couple minutes left. Is there anything you want to add to it?
If you want to see some of the joyous lulls of my early cosplays and even more of my newer ones, you can follow me at Cosplays by Charlsie.
CHARL. Nope.
Yes.
Yeah, LLSIE.
Yes, just
Carl.
one L. Just one L.
Yep.
CHARLSIE.
Carl.
So Cosplays by me. But yeah, I mean, if anyone is ever interested in cosplaying, just go for it. Just do it. It's fun. You don't have to, like, break the bank and fully sew everything yourself or anything. Like, there's ways of getting around a lot of that. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Until next time.